My name is Vicki Siriani. I live at 6 Spots Court, and I'm speaking to you as a citizen, as a taxpayer, and as someone who spent the vast majority of her career working with the built environment and at great length with project development and project delivery. I want to specifically talk about the zoning and planning issues, and I'm really glad, Lynn, that you were here. I don't know where you are, because you answered a number of questions, and I have a number of conflicts. So didn't hear you answer it, so let's go forward. I can't, gosh, can you read that? I can't read it. We know what the Webb proposal is. It is 40,000 square feet, and in all due respect, it is not a big box store, but it is a big box. It is half the size of Target in terms of square footage, and I believe it is 3/4 of the size of Market Basket. The primary zoning district around this project, to my knowledge, is the North River Canal Corridor, NRCC. And I am under the impression that, and when I look at the zoning map for NRCC, which I have later in the slide, I'm under the impression that this project or proposal falls within the NRCC, and that the NRCC allows two types of uses, R2 and NRCC. NRCC is a mixed-use zoning designation. It has its own requirements, and I think that's it. If you look at a zone, let me go forward to the zoning map. I just turned the NRCC zoning map on its side and blew up the immediate area. And the area in question, is there a pointer on this side? Anyway, the area in question is in that red area, which is R22. You can see the Webb building. And other than that area of R2, everything else in purple, to my knowledge, is NRCC. Let me go back. Oh, no, I can go forward. Okay. Now, I don't know whether any of you have had the opportunity to look at the NRCC master plan. I think it's pretty interesting that it hasn't been talked about at all in relationship with this project. It is a master plan that was developed in 2003 and 4, and it was specifically designed to revitalize the blighted area that serves as a major entrance to the city. And I do want to say to all the Webb people, which I didn't say, I should have introduced myself, that I'm a big Webb supporter. I'm so much of a Webb supporter. I have a Toto toilet sitting in a box in my living room delivered by Webb, and then I have some other fixtures for a bathroom that hasn't been finished, just so you know where I stand as far as Webb as a business and as a supplier. The zoning plan that came forward, in which I just showed you, was designed to ensure the appropriate future developments in the area. Since then, a significant number of improvements have been made. The vision is also very clear in the master plan. If you haven't read it, I encourage you to read it. It is so clear that the corridor can be dramatically transformed over time. It will require time. 3 basic elements in that plan: significant visual and aesthetic improvements. I can't even get into those. We don't have enough time to talk about it, but some of those proposed visual improvements, the ability to walk down to the park, to walk down to the canal, would not be possible with this development. The 2 other major points of the plan was that residential development in scale and character on the southern edge of Bridge would do 2 things. It would preserve the neighborhood, and it would create a very good buffer for the neighborhood. Now, we've heard talk about the AUL. It's very true. It's contaminated soil, but there are other things that could be built that would be appropriate in terms of scale. The third and other definitive thing about the vision is that appropriate, attractive, and financially viable mixed-use developments of light industrial, commercial, and residential usage would go in the remaining of the 57 acres. If you have not read the plan or looked at it lately, and hopefully I've got this right. No, I don't. I don't have it right. There's a really nice graphic that people really bought into. I would encourage you to look at that, look at it carefully, because it really does project an image of what ultimately the North River Canal Corridor could look like. So I can't go into all the plan highlights. I simply have given you 2 bullets which refer to scale and mass and design. Residential development, and in this particular parcel of land, we know it wouldn't be residential, but it could be something else. In scale and character with the historic neighborhood, and buildings that are of a similar footprint and mass as some of the larger homes on Federal and Essex Street. I haven't seen here so long, I can't even talk, my throat is so dry. So let's look at the Webb proposal, the way I see it. Once again, I'm taking full responsibility. This is me. The Webb proposal, to my knowledge, as it stands, is not permitted at all in the NRCC, not just in the R2 part of the NRCC. You are being asked to bring about a significant zoning change from R2 to B4. And Lynn very graciously put up some of the uses of B4. Oh, thank you. That just would be wonderful. But I also have, and mine's an edited version at all. It's not a complete list. But I also have some uses that are allowed by B4 that include fast food, restaurants, drive-throughs, other kinds of drive-throughs, plumbing, carpentry, and sheet metal shops, motor vehicle trailer and boat sales, surface and rental, and motor vehicle general and body repair. So I guess what that says to me is we have to be very careful of this B2. I am really pleased to know that the B2 would not happen until after the sale. Because if this sale were to go through, if it were to go through, and Webb would say, oh my God, I don't want to do that. Or I want to pull out, I found a better location somewhere else in Salem. What would happen? One of these, we could have a McDonald's on that site. And what I would say to every single person in this room, let's not demean the neighborhood, because no one, I think, would want one of these facilities adjacent to their residence. So let us be very, very careful about this rezoning. Now, the next slide is my slide. You can hold me completely accountable, but I say to myself, how appropriate is this, viewed from the NRCC plan and the zoning plan that was created to ensure a successful renovation or restoration of the space. To me, rezoning these 3 proposals to B4 is inappropriate and incompatible with the intended use of the properties as outlined in the vision, the master plan, and the zoning plan. It violates the goals, if you look carefully at the goals of the plan. And I think I'm true about this bullet, that if the B4 zoning is passed, the planning board nor the design review board have any real ability to influence the design going along. That's not to say that Webb won't work very closely with them. I know that would happen. So my conclusions, and you can beat me up, but my conclusions are on the basis of what I know about the plans. I have read everything, and what I know about the proposal, I think I've looked at everything, is that it directly contradicts 10 of the 13 vision points of the plan. It contradicts the goals. It directly contradicts the city's RFP statement that the proposal needs to be compatible with the surrounding neighborhood. I begin to wonder if it doesn't appear to be a rezoning plan designed to accommodate a proposal rather than a proposal designed to accommodate the for zoning in the city's plan for the space. I fear it affects so much of the southern edge of the NRCC that it will legitimize further erosion of the R2 district. I think it sets precedent for future erosion of a residential area that is on the National Register of Historic Places. And I know that it will result in a significant portion of land in the middle of the NRCC that will not be protected by NRCC zoning. So I would like, the mayor was quite eloquent about saying, you know, this is my vision and this is how I see it. And so I'd like you to suspend belief, the 30 seconds, and view it from my perspective in the same kind of way. I firmly believe that along with natural resources, the built environment is one of the single most important factors in the creation of cities. Great cities like Paris, mediocre cities like Houston, and I hope there's no one in the room from Houston, and impoverished cities like Flint, Michigan, which may never come back. It takes forever. I mean, I'm a builder. It takes forever to build, and it takes a long time to destroy. The shelf life on the built environment is extraordinarily long, and mistakes far too often can never be corrected. It took 100 years to create this urban blight in this area. It's taken another 25 years to plan its renewal. The renewal, as far as zoning and the plan goes, is 12 years old, although lots of things happened before that. It looks a lot better than when I moved to town 11 years ago. Why should we stop this effort so early in the game? Why shouldn't we work hard to improve this important entry point to the city and to find a really appropriate site that will be good for Webb and good for us in this city? Thank you.